Yeah. Yeah. Let's just try a. Let's just try an experiment here. I'm gonna just try an experiment here. Yeah. So I'm gonna experiment on this one. Hey, Pug. How you doing? Yeah. Now I'm not gonna say anything like this is gonna be like I was in a public forum and people were around. But I'm pretty sure now YouTube is cutting off my chats, even though they're not monetized. When you were on that last chat, could you hear me the whole way through? Yeah, see, that's what they're doing. Yeah, they're cutting off responses from other people. And while I was talking, could you see comments other people were making, or did it stop with that last one that Penny made? Yeah, see, that's what I think. So, when I said to you, the last comment I got was Penny, was that the last comment you saw too, or could you see comments that I couldn't? Well, see, now if you're reading the comments, then it doesn't really make sense that they would just cut off other people's replies. Now, if you'd have said to me, yeah, that's the last comment that I saw from Penny, then I would believe 100% that that's what they were doing. But maybe it's just a glitch if you can still read what people are saying. Oh, you did, huh? Yeah, well, see, then I think it's probably just a glitch and it's not any kind of censorship. I mean, those days are coming. And look, it's their platform. They can do whatever they want. But it's slowly getting ratcheted down to family friendly. And like I said, it's whatever they want to do is fine. And it's going to get to the point where I either talk like I'm in Sunday school or nobody's going to hear me eventually. See, it started out when I first got on YouTube, you could just do whatever you wanted. And I didn't do that shit, but I did talk like I talk. And nobody cared. And then it got to where you graded your own videos, and they told you if you misgrade these, we're going to have to approve them from now on. It's like, oh, okay. And I had a perfect rating. I'm not stupid, man. If I put up stuff that I know they're not going to like, even when I monetized, I did not monetize it. That's the rules. I'm a rule player usually. Okay, I wasn't going to lie over something stupid. And that worked for a long time too. Well, now it's not quite like that. Now, when you upload a video and you monetize it, which I don't, you got to check off all the shit, which is why I don't monetize anymore. Well, now it's even ratcheting up another step too. Now it's getting to the point where even if you don't monetize, they're going to find a way to like keep me from talking this shit. They are. But if it happens, it happens. Eh? What are you going to do? It's either quit talking that way or find another platform, which I've tried to do before. I've tried to do. It's not easy. I uploaded a few videos in those other places. It's just like they're searching. Look, let me tell you this. It's YouTube and nothing else. Yeah, everything else sucks. Now, there are probably good ones out there that are geared towards gamers or something else. But for the kind of stuff I do, there's nobody even remotely close to YouTube. Sucks. So that's the way it is. I'll tell you another thing YouTube's done too. And I don't blame them for this either. See, I never know, Facebook does a better job at policing troublemakers than YouTube. They ban you by MAC number. I don't know if you know what a MAC number is. Every electronic device that accesses the internet has what's called a MAC number. It's a number that's generated when it's manufactured. It could be a phone, a laptop, a desktop, stuff like that. And once you ban by MAC number, you're fucked unless you're rich and you can afford a new phone every day. That's how Facebook polices it. YouTube does it by screen name, and you can make a million of them. But what they've done lately, which I think is a good idea, and that is that when you come up with a new channel now, you have to provide a phone number. And they're going to give you like one, maybe two channels per phone number. And after that, they're going to tell you, this phone number has been used too many times. So that's why you see less people interrupting my chats as you used to, because they're out of MAC numbers. They've used them all. They've used their dad's phone, their mom's, theirs, and now that with minus coming up with a new MAC address, a new device, they're not coming up with new screen names. That's why you see less interruption than you used to. But I still can't figure out why they just don't ban by MAC address instead of screen name. I mean, screen name's good if you're associating a phone number with it, but it's not as good as MAC address. And I know this because I'm going to start another channel. And when I went to do it, it said, you've used this phone number for too many channels. Well, I used it for two. When the old day, I could have used it for 2,000. So, yeah, they're trying. They're trying that, Yeah. Hey, Angie, how you doing? Good for you. Yeah, you just need to, like, meet somebody new is what you need to do. If you've ever been in a relationship, you break up, it's like, even though it was terrible and you're sick of it, you miss them. Like Friday and Saturday comes and you're just like depressed. Just try and hook up with somebody new. That's the best thing. And it's not the best thing long term, but it's the best thing short term. And if it really drives you nuts, just get on some antidepressants. Get you over the hump and then wean yourself off them. Hey, Chidam, how you doing? That's what I'd suggest. Yeah, I've had fucking those problems myself, believe me. And whenever you're like really distraught over like something that's really bothering you, nobody really understands unless they're in that same mental position. I've been there, man, believe me. It's like, well, why don't you just cheer up? Yeah, and you think, oh, God, what an idiot. Or what do you have to be depressed about? Another stupid comment. Or things could be worse. Or just go take a walk. You just want to clown these people with the Louisville Slugger. When you're down in the dumps mentally, you don't want to hear this stupid candy ass shit. Yeah, you want some fucking real solutions. Yeah, and it'll drive you fucking nuts. It'll drive you nuts. Yeah, no, keeping busy helps. Sure does. Yeah, now guys could just go on a porn marathon. They could just like watch porn for 3 days in a row. Women aren't like that. They're not. They need this emotional stuff. They want a good guy that gives a fuck how their day went, holds their hand, doesn't want to have 3 hours of straight sex in a row while they're watching dirty movies. It's totally different. It's the old adage, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. If you want to like court women appropriately, it's quite a regime. Yeah, you deserve better. Yeah, it's another one too. I mean, they're trying to say something. They like you. They know you feel bad. So, I mean, there's not much left. It's just like when somebody dies now, I don't even like say anything because I think rest in peace is just so fucking stupid. It's like rest in peace, man. They're dead. What are you talking about? Being dead is a lot different than resting. You know, what kind of thing is this to say? Usually I catch myself saying no, my condolences. I'm really sorry for that. You know, I've had a lot of people I know die. There was a nice couple up in West Branch that just died. Well, I thought I kept up with the obituaries. I guess I don't. And there was an absolute sweetheart that managed a restaurant down for me when I lived in Chicago. She just died. Good looking Iranian woman, 52. Died at 52. And I don't know anybody down there to find out how she died. Just makes, yeah, I've had a lot of people I know die. Yeah, tell him at his house. Yeah, you can tell me, Angie. This is what you tell your customers. It's like, well, things, things just didn't work out. We have different, we are going to take separate roads. Then you can tell your girlfriend, that two-faced, lying, double-talking loser motherfucker. I couldn't wait to get rid of him. You're going to have different answers for different people. But since you'll be waiting on tables up there, just smile and say you wish him the best. Even though you'd like to drop kick his fucking dumbass off the fucking edge of the Grand Canyon. Yeah, just drop kick his ass off the edge of the Grand Canyon. Yeah, I get it. It sucks. And whatever you do, don't get drunk after work. It'll make you go fucking calling them up at 3 in the morning, shit like that. Yeah. Yeah, it drives you crazy. Yeah, it's just fucking people. They don't know what the fuck to do. Yeah, they're just trying to be nice. Not your old buddy Tom, though. I'm willing to overnight you a 13-inch French tickler. I mean, I'm looking for real solutions. Yeah, and you think you're all over it and stuff. You think you're all over it, and like that you went your way, they went theirs. Then you're working, he comes in, he gets drunk with some new girl, and they're like fucking grabbing each other's ass and shit, and you just want to go over there and knock them both out with one of those cast iron skillets. These are all normal human emotions. I say be true with your emotions. Just call a spade a spade. If it pisses you off, just acknowledge that. Don't try and like bury. I think that's why people have heart attacks. Even though it's illogical, doesn't make sense, it's emotional, which never makes sense. If you get mad, just be mad. Don't try to like stifle your anger. Yeah, there you go. Something like that. Yeah. Especially in a small town like that. It's like, oh, God. Just going to run into this motherfucker. Like, I got that problem going on right now. So here's the fucking deal. I might have to go if this lawyer calls me back. So I get fucked in my divorce. I didn't really care. If I didn't get a penny, it was fine. It's not going to change the kind of life I live. But it pissed me off. I thought I should have got more. So I got it appealed and got it reversed. So my wife owns me like a fucking ton of money. Ex-wife. And the only way that she can afford to pay me is to sell that place down there, which I don't really want her to do. Well, she didn't pay me anything from the original judgment 2 years ago. She has to pay 9% interest every month since then. In the reverse judgment, which was a couple months ago, no, it was actually 3 months ago, she's got to pay me 9% interest on the new dollar amount. There's no way she can ever pay this. So I actually arranged her private financing. I didn't need to do it, but I did. She hasn't gotten back with the guy. And now 3 months have gone by. I haven't got a penny. And I just am a little miffed at her attitude. Whether her ego won't allow to, like, call me. So I called a lawyer yesterday, and it's like what I can do is I can get a court order and force her and her 10-inch cock live-in boyfriend to sell the house to pay me. I don't really want to do that. I'm trying not to do that. I mean, I just don't want to. I know she likes living there, and I know she planned on living there until it was tits up. But I'm going to have this fucking lawyer send her lawyer a letter and say, hey, look, Tom has done what he could to make things work for you. But we're just not going to, like, do nothing. So either you want to take advantage of things he had hooked up for you. Do you want me to knock some interest off? Do you want me to, like, give you 3 years before you have to pay anything? But I'm getting a little pissed at you doing nothing. Yeah, I am. I'm getting a little pissed at you doing nothing. Especially when I fucking work things out for an ex-wife to not change her life. I don't think I should, like, get a star in my forehead. But it goes back to what that guy asked me earlier on the first chat. With knowledge comes accountability. I am doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. I'm not some, like, guy, well, it's time for you to go your way, or if you can't afford it, fuck. I'm not doing any of that. I'm being a good guy. Yeah, I am. I am. And that's the way it is. That's what I'm going to do. I'm doing a reasonable thing. Marty's like that too. Yeah, no, and that's exactly right. Yeah, it really is. I don't know what it is. If you had me guess, I'm just guessing now. This could be totally wrong. I think she'd like to get rid of that boyfriend. And if that place has to get sold, I got an idea that's the end of that relationship. Just a guess. Uh, I don't fucking really know what the deal is down there. I don't know whether it's embarrassing to call me, uh, that you're really not as independent as you thought, even though we haven't lived together in 30 years and I haven't seen you in 18. Is this just too low for you to stoop, even though it's in your best interest? I don't know. I've learned this in life too. Speculation is bullshit. It's just like fiction and writing. I'm not going to pretend to know what's going on there. I just know on the receiving end of mine from good overtures, I'm not getting good feedback. But that's not going to make me snap and, like, exercise my legal prowess. That's why I'm going to have an official letter that's probably going to cost 500 fucking dollars sent to her lawyer, laying it out just like I told you. Yeah. And here's another thing too. It's just like people owing you money. There's a lot of people that would pay you back if they had it. It's not having it's the fucking problem. Well, my lifestyle isn't going to change whether I get a penny or whether I don't, which is probably has a lot to do with why I'm being so decent. If I was fucking broke and needed a place to live and didn't have a car, I'd probably be all over her fucking ass, exercising every legal fucking move I could. So there's a lot to everything, not just my example, but other people's too. So, that helps. That's why I'm honest, because I don't need to be politically correct. You see what I mean? So that's just the way I look at things. Just try to be decent, you know? And now it's all spelled out in a letter. So I know what's going to be written in it, and you're going to get it. And what do you want to do here? Do you want to, like, party? Do you want to just have to sell it? What? I mean, for all I know, she wants it to be forcefully sold so she can get rid of the boyfriend. I mean, it could be. I don't know. And if that's something that's true, you're not going to tell me that. You're just going to let it happen. So it could be that too. I just don't know. So, I think they cut my goddamn comments off again. Penny's last comment. Nothing like a big fuck you. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if she does or not. I know her attorney did during the divorce. Her attorney watched it. I know the Michigan State Police watched it when they tried to make up some bullshit after I got that fucking ticket from that stupid black trooper. You can say what you want, but there was racism involved in that. It wasn't even illegal what I did. Just some black motherfucker pulling over a white guy. Yeah, I can. They do it all the time now. I tell you that. It's like, oh, no, I couldn't have been doing that. Even the state police admitted they couldn't see anything on the video. That means the camera he was wearing or the camera in the police car that was illegal. Yeah, well, what the fuck did I get pulled over for? That's my point. Look, I can take a ticket when I fuck up. That was just, there's not much left with racism. Now, if it had been a white guy, well, racism's out the fucking window. But it wasn't. It was a black guy, a black state trooper who had been a Detroit City policeman. And I got his records. He was just a fucking shitbag. Another example of affirmative action, hiring a subpar person because of his race. It's a big fucking dummy. Yeah. And that fucking scam and stalking Canadian Horror Ollie uh, just made up this big bunch of bullshit and contacted the state police and tried to get me charged with threatening a state police officer on the internet. Yep. Michigan State Police used to be like one of the top law enforcement agencies in the country, not anymore. You know, you got a lesbian attorney general. You got a stupid ass liberal crazy governor that ain't worth a shit that sucked Trump's balls and he still wouldn't give her a job. And that's why the state that's in, they've depended all these years on having these losers get them elected into office, and the state's just shit now. Almost as bad as when Jennifer Granholm was the governor, another person that you don't hear of anymore. Once they get out of having the misfits vote them into office, there's nothing left. Jennifer Granholm's done politically, and so is Gretchen Whitmer. People got tired of this liberal lunacy, and nobody votes for them anymore. So when you're in your 50s, your 60s, and a Republican that's whipping ass, a tyrant, is taking names, there's no jobs for you. There's a couple states we got to finish off yet, New York and Washington. These liberal lunatics. They're getting all their funding cut. Same with these Ivy League schools. You remember when you used to think of Harvard as a good university? Yeah, I don't anymore. They got exposed. They courted and hung around with a known pedophile for years. Then they allowed racism, anti-Semitism. They finally got exposed. Yeah, they really did. I tell you why, Ollie, because it was another one of these old, ugly broads that hadn't been fucked in 35 years, that was friendly at the beginning, that, you know my attitude about that shit. And they really get pissed. I've had it happen outside of the internet maybe like 5 times in my life. These unattractive, beastly, ugly fucking women who I was nice to, that I just told, in probably not such a nice way, get lost. And it pissed them the fuck off. What's that old adage? There's nothing like the rage of a woman or a scorn of a woman, something like that. That's the fucking truth. I've had women try to fuck me up about 5 times, and I hadn't even touched any of them just because I told them to hit the road. Hey, Blackjack. Yeah, it's really cool, good around here, really nice around here. I sit out here and drink dragon's milk and listen to classical music. And I feed the deer and the birds. And I video the clouds. I'm obsessed with clouds. That's how I got busted the other day on trying to start another YouTube channel. I wanted to have the cloud channel. No comments either. Just live. I bought another webcam, and I'm going to order another laptop today just to run one webcam. I don't like switching back and forth on an HDMI switcher. Just one laptop dedicated. It's going to have the clouds all the time running. No comments. You can just sit down wherever you are and look at the clouds like this. I think it's no corny ass music. You can just do your thing looking at the clouds. Yeah. Yeah, they don't get it, man. There's women like that. I've had it happen like 5 times in my life. Look at this wasp on my cup. See, I just let him do his thing. He's just looking for something. He doesn't fucking know. He's looking for something to drink. The fuck out of here. But he just took off. I don't like kill living things if I can help it. It's like that big old rattlesnake the other day. You got some good rattlesnakes out there in Texas too. But these people, Texas, I like Texas, but man, that's still like they do some crazy ass shit there, man. They killing all those rattlesnakes, those roundups. I mean, how can you have all this knowledge in this day and age and still do that? Just capture rattlesnakes and like kill them. What the hell is wrong with them? They're they're important to the environment. I'm not talking about lesbian, transgender, rainbow flag bullshit. I'm just talking about a decent animal being allowed to live instead of some cowboy hat riding, fucking spurs on his fucking boots. He has never been on a horse trying to act like he's non-gay. You got so many fucking fake cowboys out there, it's ridiculous. They're probably shanking fucking cock when they get off their fucking horse. Their mechanical bull. Yeah, really, just fake fucking a bit. And if you look at population statistics, 10% of the population's gay. So you think of the 10,000 cowboys, there's 1,000 of them out there blowing each other, which I don't have a problem with. Good for you. What was that movie they made? Those two fags camping in pup tents. I know Don't Like That watched it a bunch of times, and I know Mark Kropka watches it a lot. I like those guys, so I'd still consider them both friends. I don't care if they watch gay movies about men in pup tents or not. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, Brokeback Mountain. That's right. What a good name for it. We should have called it Bareback Mountain. Really, that shit doesn't bother me. If there was two gay guys right now driving down the road, holding hands with cowboy hats on, grabbing each other's cocks, and they pulled in, they said, "Hey, we're really having a hard time to like find a place to put up our tent." It's like, yeah, go pitch it out there in the yard. You guys need some KY jelly? I would. I'd be fine with it. I don't care. It does not bother me. That's another thing that turned me off about religion. There's a biological basis for homosexuality. It's the way your brain is. You could be a concert pianist, a genius, motherfucker memorizing telephone books. You could think of new microchips. You could start PayPal, run YouTube, be the originators of Google. The human mind, man, you're born that way. In other words, being gay isn't a bad habit. Come on. God damn it. I would too. Yes, I would. I would too. It wouldn't bother me a bit. I managed the estate of two gay guys that died. One I knew for like 35 years, and the other one I knew for 25 years. And it's kind of true. It's the same thing they say about old nuns. They live lonely lives as the end of their service. They're considered lay people, and they just have nobody at the end of the road. They're not doing anything. They're alone. And it's the same thing with old gay guys. No children. In the old days, their family was estranged. They're just old and nobody around, and they were good guys, and they needed somebody like that. So I was fine. I was happy to do it. Do it. Yes, I would, Penny. And you just think of these nuns. I think, they did a lot of good deeds. They spent their whole life serving the Lord, you know? And to just be 80 years old, just rocking in a chair, looking at some fucking bird crack seeds with his beak out your assisted living care facility. It's got to make you look at life differently than when you started out thinking that you were going to make the world a better place, because you did with all your good works, but the world didn't come back to help you. I mean, you never had your pussy eaten. You never got high. You were never drunk and all that shit. You didn't care about it then because you had a mission in mind. But at the end of the road, boy, you're starting to double think and rethink your lifelong pursuit of being good. Yeah, you were good, all right, but it wasn't good to you. Yeah, they do feel. Yeah, they do. If you talk to gay guys, I know a lot of gay guys. I've been in a million gay bars. I know Mark Kropka's gay, deep down, and I'm fine. Yeah, they know right away. I mean, being gay isn't a bad habit. You're just like that. You just are. Now, mind you, I'm not like spending like tons of time because we don't have a lot in common. You know what I mean? But I'm fine with it all. It doesn't bother me a bit. Yeah. Oh, how you doing, Celia? Yeah, I'm fine with it. Yeah, definitely, guys. I can remember guys that I know that, yeah, they knew. I'll give you an example. I got a buddy of mine, it's an airline pilot. It's on like his 19th wife. But the last one, they've been married 17 years. I just talked to him yesterday. And I think his second wife, he has this kid who I knew. And he found play girl under the kid's bed, all nude men. He kept that a secret. And then time went on. This kid wanted to learn how to bake and fucking all this gay shit. I didn't give a fuck. So the kid was about 9, and he said, I need to ask you something. It's like, yeah, what's that? He said, do you think Chip is gay? It's like, fuck yeah, Chip's gay, man. Absolutely. And it just devastated this motherfucker. It really fucked his ass up. And now I shouldn't say this, but I don't think this is true, but this is the way when you get mad and you lash out, you say shit like this because you're trying to make sense of it. And the only thing he could come up with is that he was disappointed that he would never have grandchildren. Well, yeah, okay. Hey, fucker. It's not your business whether your offspring has children or not. Selfish motherfucker. That's what I thought. I said, that's exactly what I told him. I said, fuck you, Bill. That's nonsense, man. If he's gay, man, you should love it. You're not even religious, you horror fucking monger, porn watching, fucking stripper addicted bitch. And he looked at it differently. As a matter of fact, about 6 years ago, get this shit. Now, you don't know who this guy is, so I can give you the details. So, about 10 years ago, no, maybe 15 years ago, he loses touch with his son. The kid did have his pilot's license. This guy's an airline pilot, right? As it turns out, the son and his lover uh, turned into meth heads, unemployed, just roaming the streets of California. So the father, these maternal instincts, calls me and he said, hey, I can't find my son. I'm worried about him. And this is a guy that's really self-centered. He didn't give a fuck about anybody himself. But this is where biology comes in. So I said, well, what the fuck do you want me to do? He said, I want you to find him, and I want you to tell him that I want to help him come home. So I did. And I talked to him on the phone. And he knows me, like the real me. I said, hey, look, I've talked to your dad. I don't know what you motherfuckers are on. He's willing to fund it, get you back out. They were losing their teeth, all this fucking shit. I'm telling you, man, he's willing to do this, which seemed like kind of a shock because he's the cheapest motherfucker in the world. And they agreed. Long story short, the son now is an airline pilot. And the other guy is, he's doing some kind of shit. They got a good life, just bought a new home. And I was just talking to the fucking dad yesterday. Happy for him. And about 6 years ago, they actually told the dad that they wanted me to share Thanksgiving with them, which I ain't into that fucking shit. If you told me a bunch of nude Miss Americas were there, I'd find an excuse. But I felt this was a special occasion and a time to celebrate a really bad story that turned out with a good ending. And I went down there and I had Thanksgiving with them. And me being me, it's like, they said grace, which I could not fucking believe it. I mean, I'd have felt better if one bent the other one over on top of the table and ass drilled them before we ate turkey. That'd have made more sense. They said grace, and then I just couldn't take it anymore. And they said, do you have anything to say? And I said, yes. I said, it seemed like just yesterday that you guys had no teeth and were sucking each other's cock behind a gas station. And the wife said, please, could you just, during Thanksgiving? I said, okay. So I shut the fuck up. Yeah. Oh yeah, I had some cute female teachers too. I really did. I joke about it, but there's some really good looking female teachers that have been like doing shit with these underage kids. It's fucked up. I mean, all jokes aside, they should be punished. You got to be fucked up in the mind to be a teacher, either sex, and doing stuff with underage people. But from a young teenage male perspective, joking around, God, I used to have some teachers, and I think, God, I wish they'd take me fucking fishing. But young people got big mouths. It's just a crime. It really is. It's all joking aside. But some of these teachers, these women are fucking cute. I mean, no shit. You're beating off to fucking, 25-year-old fucking Playboy books when you're fucking 12. And here's some lucky motherfucker somewhere is getting blown in the park after hours. I mean, it's hard not to be jealous. I know it's a crime. They say it'd fuck you up psychologically. In a good way. I bet those kids jacked themselves off to death after that happened. But it'd just be a pain in the ass because as you aged as a young kid, you'd be telling your girlfriends, yeah, I was molested by a teacher. And it's like, it would just dominate these conversations. It would be not for the better. You didn't want to keep it quiet to yourself because you figured they should know. It's just bad all the way around. It's just bad. It just is. When the male does it to the female, that's the end of the world. They want to give that guy the death penalty, just torture him, public hanging. But when the female does it to the male, yeah, they do get prosecuted, but not with the same zeal that the men do. It just seems extra creeper when a guy does it. I just think it seems extra creeper. That's my opinion. Yeah, I think it does. It's wrong. You can't do that shit. And I'll tell you another thing I think's wrong too. Like I said, older men, younger women. It's not right. I mean, these older guys go over to these like Taiwan and Thailand. No, man. I would turn a motherfucker in. It's an undeveloped, underaged person that just doesn't know shit from Shinola. And you to be an older person and know the difference and do that, even if it's consensual, you should be in prison. You should be in prison. Yeah, no, you see, it's normal thinking. You have normal thinking. But I'm telling you, man, the human mind, man, it's all over the place. When you have mass groups of people coming in a public school system every year, you're bound to have these show up along the way. And I know this, in following some of these cases, these pedophiles, they will lay low for 30 years to get a shot at an underage kid, whether it's working as a camp counselor, Bible study, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, some kind of place where they have access to young people. Yeah. Yeah, they will. They'll lay low. They'll throw their whole career away for a shot at that shit. Yep. Yeah, I think if I had that happen to a kid, unless I had other kids, it would not be good for them because I know what damage it does. Yeah. Yeah, it is sick. It really is. I know what kind of damage it does to ruin a whole life over a selfish act like that on an undeveloped brain. I think I would just resort to vigilantism. I wouldn't give the system a chance to do its thing. I'd do it myself. I think I would. And I would just walk right in, put my hands out, handcuff me. I'm not going to lie about it. Yeah, I hope that never happens. I was living in Detroit one time, like in the ghetto area, and to experience it, I lived down there for a whole year just to play basketball and experience the hood. And there were a black guy was going to kill this white guy one time because he was a convicted sex offender and he had a baseball bat. And he had knocked the guy off his bike, and I talked him out of it. But I understand it, especially when you're in an area where there's a lot of rage. That's why bad neighborhoods get you in trouble. You got just a bunch of pissed off fucking people that think that your race is responsible for that, and that otherwise they'd be doing better if it wasn't people like you, and they have no future. And when they see your ass down there, they want to take out their rage on you. Pork and Beans used to be like that in Miami. Actually, that was probably the first 20 episodes of the first 48, Pork and Beans. Now, they've since changed that, but it's still bad down there. There are still neighborhoods like that. Look up Pork and Beans on YouTube. I know a black guy, actually, that owns a restaurant. He just went out of business. It was from Pork and Beans. Big, tall motherfucker, had a basketball scholarship. And I said, so let me just ask you, if I'd have been down there and I'd have driven in there, what would have happened? He said it would not have been good. A lot of people got lost coming from Miami Airport down there. He said this is what they do. You come down there, you get lost, and you stop at a stop sign, and they come up with a baseball bat, and they bash the windshield area in of the driver's side, so you can't see to drive. And then most people get out, and that's when it all goes downhill. That's when you get robbed, murdered, beaten. Yeah, that was their MO. These fucking, all these crazies aren't stupid. They would actually set it up knowing how to force you down different streets, whether it would be put up a plastic barrel, spread some debris in the street. Anybody that turned off that road to go down there to turn around, they would force you back into an area where they could do that shit. Yeah, they set you up good. I mean, it was just, look it up, Pork and Beans neighborhood. There's videos of it on YouTube. It's fucking crazy. If you were white, now here's the deal. This is going to sound fucking crazy to you, but there is a password you could give if you were down there buying drugs. You know, that was Gerald's business for a long time in Detroit. All the white people that had good jobs that didn't want to get busted in a trap house, they'd give Gerald or whoever, a lot of people do it, $20 to make the deal and give it to them in a McDonald's parking lot. So you go down there, you'd still get your window bashed in, but you wouldn't get murdered. You wouldn't get robbed. You get out of that fucking car and they'd say, hey, whatever the password, I'd let you go right then and there. Honest to God, that sounds fucking insane, but you still had your life. Because these drug dealers told these people, if people are going to be afraid to come down here to buy these drugs, you're going to ruin our business. Therefore, if they say this to you and something happens to them, you're not going to be around longer. You know, and I never got a chance to do it. And I wish I would have. When I lived in Chicago, I lived in the nicest neighborhood in Chicago. Not bragging. It just worked out that way, the Gold Coast. And right next to us was Cabrini Green, like the biggest tenement slum housing in the city, which has since been changed. And I knew a guy that knew some gang members, and I was gonna take some photos of them, you know, in their colors and shit. Well, it never happened out, but anyway, I went over there one day and I met a couple of these gang members, which was just like, you know, a half mile from where I live. And there was a girl, handicapped girl in a wheelchair. She had an electric wheelchair. And, you know, we're only like a quarter mile, half mile away from like the nicest neighborhood. And this handicapped girl would take her electric wheelchair and she'd go down there and panhandle for money. And I'm talking to these fucking two guys. And I'm talking to my contact. And I said, do you know her? He said, yeah, she's been around here like forever. It's like, well, how are these drug dealers, these gang bangers? They said they love her. They really like her. And I thought, okay, so I'm talking to these gang bangers. And I was supposed to come back and do this photography later, and they decided they didn't want to do it. So I'm talking to this gangbanger, and these fuckers look just like something out of a movie, like those dancers in Thriller, and they look like the real deal. And I said to this, I'm talking to this gang guy, and I said, "Hey, do you know this girl?" And he said, "Yeah, we know her." I said, "Well, isn't she going to like get robbed? I know she panhandles." And you know what he said to me? He said, "Anybody that touches her is going to get more fucked up than that." And that was the truth, because up until I left, nothing happened to her in the worst area there was. So it's interesting how you've got these gangbanger doper guys doing crazy shit, smash and grabs, but they had a sense of justice when it came to someone that was physically challenged. And they got the word out. I'll tell you another example of this too, is these gangbangers in the hood and graffiti. You go down to Chicago and Detroit, and these gang members have talked to these church officials, these parish priests. You don't see any graffiti getting sprayed on churches. You just don't. That's kind of an agreement where they don't fuck with them. Everything else is all spray painted up, but not the churches. Interesting. Wow, Penny. When was that? Wow. That's crazy. Good for you. I hope you got a handgun with stopping power. But I'm telling you, in Texas, you'd probably get away with it. But somebody tries to grab your purse and you cap their ass, you could get charged. You're supposed to run away and all that kind of shit. Now, Florida, that's stand your ground. That's different. Oh, good. Oh, wow. That's nuts. Yeah, I mean, there's people all over in the fucking ground because they were just going into a shopping thing. I love watching these YouTube videos where these cops shoot these fucking shitbags. I really do, man. I wish they'd start a PayPal for the cops that shoot these fucking scumbags. Really, I'm all for it, man. I bless them. I would send them $100 for a good shot. And let me tell you, when you're a cop and you kill one of these dirtbags, you're catching a lot of shit either way. They put you on paid administrative leave. All you have to do is sit around and worry about whether or not you're going to get fired, even though you were doing your job. Yeah, I want them to set up funds for these people and donate to it. If you ever watch those, videos where those cops shoot these assholes, I always make a nice comment. Great shot. Good job. You were shot stealing a purse? Oh, that's good. Yeah, I wish he would have shot you between the eyes instead. Oh, good. I wish he'd have shot you between the eyes too. Yeah, that'd be great. Hey, could you put a GoPro on your head and get it sent to me? Oh, self-defense. Yeah, but you deserved it. You need a bullet between your eyes. You shouldn't be stealing. Go get a job, you lazy fucker. You need one right between your eyes. I want to send you a GoPro and I want you to wear it all the time. And when you do this again, could you have your family send me the SD card? Yeah, I know it's a part of life. So is getting a bullet between the eyes, protecting what you own. Do you think you'd be willing to do that? Next time you steal, just put a GoPro on your head and have the family send the SD cards. I will send money to your survivors. Yeah, I did that too. Get a fucking job, you lazy fucker. Everybody's hiring. Go out and get a job. You can get on fucking Medicaid. Fucking shitbag. Yeah, I paid for this trap neuter thing like 30 cats. It was only $10 a cat. But see, there's always a hidden story behind every story. And part of the reason I did that is because I like birds, and they say that 1 in 10 birds live lives ends from a feral cat. I don't know about 1 in 10, but I know that it happens because it happens here and it happened in Michigan. I've seen these fucking cats, even after you feed them, eat birds, and I like birds. So I did it for two reasons. One, it's a perfect example of what mankind does when they get involved with something. Cats can still live in the wild because they're about 10,000 years behind dogs with regard to domestication. And mankind just brings these fucking cats in there and they just let them go and they have all these babies. Same with these pythons. And it's just an embarrassment that another problem mankind created. So that's part of the reason I do it. The other part is because I like birds. And it's just an all around good thing. And it's a tax deduction too. I mean, big deal, $300. But I don't have a problem donating for it's spay, trap, neuter, and then they cut like a little triangle out of their ear so you don't, cut them open again. You just know by their ear that they had this done to them. I'm all for it. I say it's a way to go. Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, good. Where did you release it, by the way? Where'd you release that skunk? And why didn't you let the Humane Society take it? Oh, that's good. Good job. Good job there. Yeah, you know what I find interesting? You know that timber rattler I got that video of the other day? If you look on a map, they're way up as far as New York, which is higher latitude, and they're in Minnesota, timber rattlers. And they are in all these states, but not Michigan. Why? Isn't that weird? Anyway, they just found a big den of them up near Minneapolis somewhere. It's gotten such a problem in Texas too with these crazy fuckers killing these venomous snakes that now these researchers put GPSs on them, and when they go out and they do their research, they don't tell anybody where they found these snakes because these crazy lunatics go out there and kill them all. So now everybody's like trying to keep this stuff a secret because of dummies that think all venomous snakes should be killed. I'm telling you, if I got bit by that rattler the other night, I'd feel terrible that you killed it. It's just being a rattler. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I know they can eat like a motherfucker and dig too. They can dig like a rototiller. Those skunks are badass. You can buy them descented and have them for pets. Except the fucking thing's up all night, rummaging through shit while you're trying to sleep. Yeah, that's the way it is. But it's a hot, sticky motherfucker today. I think it's going to be like 94, crazy humidity. School starts today at the University of Georgia. I'll tell you too. You can tell. Who doesn't like attractive young, pretty women? And there are a million of them when I go up there. But if you notice the other day, I was just fucking around. I happened to mention move-in day at the University of Georgia. Did you see the views that little bullshit video got? I wasn't thinking about it when I did it, but that was a bunch of perverts going on there looking for young girls on cameras. I know it was. So I'm not doing them anymore like that. There's no other explanation for it. Party on, Penny. Rock on. Keep that gun loaded. When somebody tries to steal you, like that passport, that guy that was just on here, put one right between their fucking eyes. Yeah, it's rock on. But I wonder, like deer, got a lot of deer around here that eat, and I just wonder how those fucking things handle this heat. God damn, bugs all over. Human, the fuck do they do? Why, Nick? Why? No, I don't. Nope. But I do know somebody that can block your dumbass, and that's me. I just block your dumbass. You can't comment now. There's a jet plane. It's crazy how you invent things, all man-made materials too. Piece together a jet airplane, just flying through those clouds, hot day, drinking a pop, watching a movie in a seat on your way to Europe. That is just mind-blowing. And you're flying over the whole Atlantic, and you'll be there in about 6.5 hours. That's insane. Yeah, I love clouds. It's like this a lot. It warmed up, which is good for the clouds. It really is nice. Love these clouds. Now the snakes supposedly are real active now. That's what they say in all these websites and stuff. But you wouldn't notice it. It's not like you start seeing them. And it said in this article I read the other night that these timber rattlers are very active on a warm summer night. But I still say those things are they're smart. They're not going to come out here and be exposed. There's a lot of shit that kills those, birds and animals and other snakes. So they're not going to be out here just crawling around in this big open green lot. They're not dumb like that. They're in there snaking around. Besides, they don't want to get too hot either. In the winter, you'll see them, or the spring sun themselves, or the fall. But you're not going to see these snakes out here in a 100-degree day. Fuck no, they want to be cool, which is why you don't see them crawling around. Now, when I had to fuck with cleaning this damn filter out in the pump house at the other house last night, and I got a bunch of insulation around the pipes and shit, because we do get down to zero occasionally. And I was taking that out, and I thought to myself, man, I'm going to be really careful, because you could see where something dug under the pump house, and there's no floor on it. And I was really careful in pulling off those layers of insulation, because it just looked like the perfect place for a snake to hang out. There wasn't one in there, though. Oh, you got a timber rattler video? Send me the link on that. Yeah, they're hard to see. That's only the second one I've seen in like over 3 years. And I looked my ass off. And I'm constantly quizzing people, county workers, people that cut grass, utility guys, road workers, about the snakes they see. And it's hardly ever. I know guys that have cut grass down around here for the county for 30 years and have never seen a venomous snake. No shit. So it's not like they're all over. And obviously there are timber rattlers around here, but there's places that are better for them than here. Yeah, they are here. That was a big one I saw the other day. I'm sure I'm never going to get a great opportunity like that again to see one. Oh, cool. When you saw yours, did you just happen to see it or did it rattle? Oh, okay. Yeah, these crazies down here run over them. If that would have been any of my neighbors that saw that one, he'd have been dead. Yeah, no kidding. Well, I think I'm going to sign off here, you guys. Drink one more coffee. I'm going to do some reading today. I got my sleep schedule back on schedule. I'm going to do some nice reading today. Yeah, send me a link. Thank you. So everybody out there, I hope you have a good day today. You guys party on, rock on. You kick it. Have a good day, Jeff. Everybody else out there, you rock on. You like get sweaty just sitting here now. All right, Larry, have a good day. All right, party on, you guys.